Welcome to Strip Cover Lit. I'm Dalton Gentry, and I am here today for an announcement of sorts, an upcoming series that I will be hosting and playing along with. That's, if I understand correctly, is going to be a long one, a very long series here on Strip Cover Lit, but one that we've definitely had a lot of demand for. This will be a full breakdown and analysis of Thomas C. Foster's How to Read Literature Like a Professor. This is the revised edition, of course, as I'm sure you can see. And what this particular book is, it's a very unique book. It's something I've never come across before, and something that I rather enjoyed. And I think, therefore, it denotes a series. Now, if you've been following along on Strip Cover Lit, Adrian has been doing a lot of different things. A lot of poetry discussions, poetry reviews, and he's actually planning a full-scale poetry series moving forward in the year. So I figured, what better can I do but couple that series with a full-scale literature series. Now, this is billed as a lively and entertaining guide to reading between the lines, which, to be completely honest, is pretty accurate. This book is funny. This book is handy, useful, beneficial, whatever you want to say about this book. I thoroughly enjoy it. So let me read from the back for you, get you a little flavor of what we're looking into here. A thoroughly revised and updated edition of Thomas C. Foster's classic guide, a lively and entertaining introduction to literature and literary basics, including symbols, themes, and context, that shows you how to make your everyday reading experience more rewarding and enjoyable. So far, so good. While many books can be enjoyed from their basic stories, there are often deeper literary meanings interwoven into these texts. How to Read Literature Like a Professor helps us discover those hidden truths by looking at literature with the eyes and literary codes of the ultimate professional reader, the college professor. A little heavy-handed, a little much, but that's fine. What does it mean when a literary hero travels along a dusty road? When he hands a drink to his companion? When he's drenched in a sudden rain shower? Ranging from major themes to literary models, narrative devices, and form, Thomas C. Foster provides us with a broad overview of literature. A world where a road leads to a quest, a shared meal may signify a communion, and rain, whether cleansing or destructive, is never just a shower, and shows us how to make our reading experience more enriching, satisfying, and fun. The revised edition includes new chapters, a new preface, and a new epilogue, and incorporates updated teaching points that Foster has developed over the past decade. Now, what I am proposing here, this is a 26 chapter book. There's a little bit at the end that is a test chapter where they go over some other things. There's a reading list at the end as well. But 26 chapters, 26 weeks, 6 months. If I can condense a few, because there are some short chapters in here that I think would really condense well and couple with a few chapters, I am hoping to get a 4-month series out of this, a full academic semester teaching you how to read literature like a professor with the help of Thomas Foster. I really wanted to call this series How to Read Books Good, which may be a thing. I'm not quite sure just yet. We'll see when we get there. But what we will be doing is breaking down this book chapter by chapter. We will be analyzing what the author is trying to say about literature at this point. And the beautiful thing he does with this particular text is he'll bring something up. For example, let me see. Chapter 9. It's more than just rain or snow. So we're obviously talking about weather and the symbolism of weather in literature, and how authors will incorporate the weather as a literary point, if you will. They're making more than just saying that, it's snowing outside. They're making a point. We've talked about this quite a bit on our Harry Potter series, where the choices of the author are critical to the interpretation of the text. And we thoroughly believe that J.K. Rowling is just slinging stuff around left and right, and she doesn't often think about what she is saying, what words she's using, and what symbols she's implementing. But everything an author does has meaning to a text. It changes the flavor of the reading, if you will. It's just throwing a little bit of spice in there that adds that little bit more that makes literature great. Now, what I would propose to do is we will go through the chapter, we'll talk about the highlights together, the overall arcing theme, obviously, and what Foster does, which is absolutely brilliant, is he provides examples, saying, if you're not following here, or if you might need an example, take a look at this huge text from the literary canon. and let's analyze this little portion here so we can prove our point with this. Which is genius. Not only is he getting his point across, but he is coupling that with examples from literature and showing you how to use these skills in real life. Now, I am fortunate. I was blessed with the opportunity that I went to an academic setting, university setting. I received a degree in literature. Adrian did as well. That's how we met, if you haven't been following the show. Now, we had 4 years of experience. Adrian went on to get his master's in creative writing, so I would argue he has more years in that realm. I started working on my master's in communication, therefore I've got just a little extra spice on that as well. But what you do in the academic setting is often you sit down and you analyze the text. A book like this is absolutely gorgeous. I wish I had this when I was in the university setting, because this gives you new options. It gives you some more things to think about. And it really just helps your literary experience. It helps you learn from the text. It helps you understand what the author is trying to go for. So I would propose that we are going to journey through this together. We are going to break this down chapter by chapter, discuss the overarching theme, talk about the examples that Thomas Foster brings into play, and dare I say that we have... Oh, my hair. My hair is just wonderful right now. Dreadlocks are a process. Dare I say, we have a big enough library on Stripcover Lit at this point that in addition to Thomas Foster's analysis and example, maybe I can pull one as well from one of our previous reviews. So, we're talking about rain and snow. Where would we find rain and snow in a text? This review from 2 years ago that we discussed. Let's bring that up. Let's talk about that more, and let's try to pair this together in a wonderful harmony. So, that is the proposed idea. It is going to be quite an undertaking, and unfortunately, I don't have a hard date as to when this is coming, but I would like to promise you, dear viewer, this is indeed coming. A full series on Thomas Foster's How to Read Literature Like a Professor, and I believe, honestly, there might be a sequel to this, or a spin-off, or an expanded edition. I can't remember off the top of my head, but I know Thomas Foster has published more, and honestly, if this goes over as well as I hope it would, because this is an amazing text, we may just continue forward. We may make this the full masterclass, if you will. Towards the end of this series here, we're going to be wrapping things up, discussing what we learned, and moving back through the text that we've reviewed on Stripcover Lit, showing our examples. That's something Thomas Foster does. At the very end of this, he gives you a reading list, which is gorgeous. Goes through his primary works that you should read. I'm just flipping through here. I saw Heart of Darkness, The Metamorphosis, Life of Pi. So there are some recent texts in here as well. Fairy Tales We Can't Live Without, Movies to Read, Secondary Sources, and finally, Masterclass Reading. Masterclass reading is where everything comes together, and the text is considered just so critical and so flawless that these examples can be seen throughout. Now, these are difficult texts. These are texts that are daunting. But maybe we could add a little bit more to that. Maybe we could complement Thomas Foster's work, praise what he has definitely done, and hopefully make ourselves better readers along the way. We do things a little bit different on BookTube. We try to stray away from standard BookTube-y things, and we break more into a literary analysis of the text. We offer the ratings, the review, the recommendation, the quotes, everything we can, good things and bad things, because that's how you should properly analyze a text. Whether you liked it or not doesn't mean there's no worth. There's worth in everything, you just have to find the worth within it. So, I think this will be beneficial to us. I'm excited for this series. I hope you're excited as well. I hope you'll be joining us. I will try to be posting some updates randomly throughout Twitter and Instagram, so if you're not following us on those social media platforms, I would suggest it. And if you are really into this idea, go ahead, pick up that copy. How to Read Literature Like a Professor, Revised Edition, Thomas Foster, and start reading through it. It is a gorgeous read, very simple. Chapters are quick. You can sit down and just burn through one. And it's funny, man. It is an entertaining read. It sounds like it might be a little dry. I mean, it's a book about how to read books. But no, Thomas Foster keeps it lively, keeps it entertaining, and is clearly a man of the craft, a man who knows what he is doing. The dog's behind me. My apologies. So, This is our announcement video for the How to Read Literature Like a Professor series. Pending name may be How to Read Books Good, may just be a compliment to Thomas Foster by using the title in the series, but this will be coming soon on Strip Cover Lit. So, if you have any questions, if you have any comments, or if you have any input on this, or things that you'd like to see me implement into this series, please leave a comment down below. I'm doing things a little bit differently. Instead of just randomly launching a series, I would like to take input into this. I want to make this what BookTube wants, and hopefully what BookTube needs to grow as readers, because, let's be honest, we can all grow as readers regardless of who we are, unless you're Steve Donahue. So if you like this kind of thing, make sure you hit the subscribe button down below. Give this video a like as well, a little bit of encouragement as we move into a new journey with Strip Cover Lit. And as always, if you'd like to help us create more great content like this here on Strip Cover Lit, there's a link as always to our Patreon to be found in the description below.